What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 5150 Gringo Garage, and today we're going to be changing the alternator on a 2007 Chrysler 300, and this is the C model. It's got the 5.7 Hemi. So you probably ask, how do I know it's the alternator, not the battery? Well, I'm about to show you right now. Alright, so if you got the 2007 Chrysler 300, or Charger, probably, this probably all works for you too. Easiest way to find out, throw your key in the ignition. So we go to our menu here. We actually have a secret menu. So if you hold down the music note here and the navigation at the same time, let's see if we can get this. We go ahead and push these two down. Kind of hard to do with one hand, but hold those two down, we'll see. Give it a second. There we go. So we get into this menu. Our battery right now is putting out 11.9, close to 12 volts. It should be closer, about 12.5 volts, but let's go ahead and start the car. I don't know if you can hear it, but the car is making a whining noise, which whenever that noise started, my battery light did turn on. And then my volts here, it dropped down to about 10.9. Right now we look okay, but this number yesterday was dropping down, like I said, 10.8 to around 11.9. So I'm gonna go ahead and change this alternator out just because of the noise you hear. This should be around 13.5 to 14 volts, which right now it's in the normal. So let's give it a minute. Let's see what happens. We come to about 12.6 volts on the alternator. So that's really not enough to recharge the battery. That's enough to just kind of maintain the battery. For anybody else who doesn't have this option, by looking at your gauges here, you could also get a voltmeter, just like this. We're gonna go straight to the battery itself. So mine's in the trunk, but wherever your battery is, just grab you a voltmeter. Okay, we're gonna put it on 12 volt. We're gonna put our positive and on the positive. A black one right here on the negative. And we'll let. So it's still putting out 12.5, 12.6 volts. That's another way to tell. Like I said, your battery should now, around 13.5 to 14 volts. So we're steadily coming down. So we know this alternator's bad. Like I said, I don't know if you can hear it. As soon as I started hearing this noise, my battery light turned on. So here's our alternator. I don't know if you hear the whining noise, but that's probably a bad alternator. Alright, so we got the hood open. We got something to lay on under the car so we don't get all dirty. We got Levi helping, and there's a hole up here. We got the car up on the ramps. We got the wheels chopped. And we're gonna need this right here. This is a 7mm. I don't know if you can see it. A 7mm. I'm just using it on a little impact driver just to make it quick. Levi's got a flathead. So up under here, you can see this has a black shield on the bottom that keeps things from hitting the oil pan and all that stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and get Levi to take this screw out. Help you?
Yeah.
There you go. Go ahead.
Wow.
Perfect. Alright, so I'm going to be using this bad boy. This is just a little magnet you can set down and throw all your screws into. Makes it a lot better. So we'll go ahead and we're going to take some of these off.
Yeah.
So on the back here, you got two bolts that are 10 millimeter. So we're going to go ahead and switch this 7 out. We're going to put our 10 millimeter. I'm actually missing one here because it's missing the clip behind it, but just that 10 millimeter. Just like that. And also on the sides, I got this tool here to take off paneling clips or whatever, but you could totally use a flathead screwdriver. So this is just on the side of the wheel. And you just get in there, pop it up, and then you can flip it around and use the that little doodle bopper there. Same with this one. Just spin it where we can see. It's got that little groove right there. Just get in there, pop it up.
That's usually
Just like that. There we go. Slide her out. Now you can see it. We got the alternator right here. We can come up here. We can get this this belt off now. Right here. Air hose off here, just with the flathead screwdriver. You got a screw here and a screw here, and that'll just give me better access to the belt. Some snaps. Screw it. Just makes it a little easier. Alright, so let's get this belt off. Alright, next step, you get your belt tensioner. It's right, we can see it, right here. All you need is a ratchet, and there is a hole right there, a little square notch in it, and the ratchet just fits right in it. You see I'm loosening the belt. So now it's loose. You just pop that off. Just leave it hanging. If you want, you can just leave that ratchet on there till we're done. So all we got to do now is take the bolts off that thing, which are pretty easy, and we'll be done. So we got our ratchet with a 15 millimeter. We'll go ahead and get this top bolt here. So I'm just going to stick this top screw back in just a little bit, or this bolt, just to support the alternator from falling down on my head. Alright. So before, we're going to unplug the battery.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we don't want to cause any electrical problems.
When?
Alright.
Why that?
Because you're supposed to.
Why?
Because that's the rules.
That's rules?
Yeah, those are rules. Those are rules of electricity. So before we mess around with the plug-ins on the alternator, we're going to disconnect our negative here. We've got a 10 millimeter wrench. we're just gonna go ahead, loosen that up a little. Pop it off, just like that. Now we're good to mess with all the electrical connectors. What? We're gonna take this alternator off.
Why?
Because it's no good. I just have that one bolt now, just barely holding it on. It's our last bolt. So it's ready to come out. So we could just get this rotated so we could get to these connections on the back of it. All right, so let me go get a light so I can see what I'm doing. So we're using our Astro here. Look at that, that's a sweet light. So now we can see down those connections down there. There is one plug in. Let's see if you can see it. Nice slow zoom, because that's what this camera likes to do. It's nice and slow. So right here, we're gonna unplug that one, which you just press and pull. That's all you do for that. Let's see if we can press it. This is very hard to do with the. There. Look at that. Got it undone. It's hard to do with one hand. I need a cameraman is what I need. I wish this thing would zoom a little faster, but anyways, we gotta take this one off. This one right here is a 13 millimeter. So slip it right onto that one. There we go. It's looking out. You see that? It's ready to come off. This is a tight little spot. Alright. Alright, let's see. Let's take another peeky poo down there. See that? The nut is in my hand. Alright, let's zoom out. That one. Now let's see if we can fandangle it out.
That's the moon.
So we might have to pop this off, which is just this clamp, but let's see. Let's try it out. I'm gonna take this hose off. Get a little catch can here. So we're gonna leak a little fluid. So, you see, we leaked a little bit, but it's, you know, very minimal. You know, maybe, I don't know, less than a cup. So, there we go. There it is. Alternator out. Now we go get a new one. Okay, so just got back from the parts store, and I can tell you one thing: we didn't go to Get in the Zone. We didn't go there. We went to the other one. So good thing to do is take your old one in, match it up, make sure everything looks like it's supposed to, you know, go where it's supposed to go, and everything looks the same. And also, everybody pretty much gives you charges you extra for the core charge if you don't take your old one in, so might as well just pull it off and take it in. So you come back and it will go right in. So let's go ahead and reverse what we did, you know, before we left. So remember, we have one hole on top, two on the bottom. So we just set it in there. Okay. Now that's on. We're gonna go ahead, we could connect our connections back here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that now. All right. So once we get our power one here, we just kind of hand tighten it, because we'll tighten it after we're done. And then we get our plug-in. Let's see if we can get to it here. And just press it down, and it just presses on until you hear it click. We're gonna just go set. Our alternator here has a little, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a little dowel in it right here at the end. And that'll fit in that hole, so it'll hold it in place while we stick our screw in there. So now it'll be held in place nicely. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of this blue thread locker just on these bolts so they don't work themselves out. So just a little dab or do. And this is why we don't tighten everything until we get the bolts all started. Just tightening it down up to 51 and 50. You can get in here with me? See that? There's the bottom of the alternator. So now that we got both of the bottom ones down, let's go ahead and come up here and finish tightening this top one. We got this one plugged in and this one plugged in. We got all three of our bolts back in. So now let's get our belt on. There we go. Wrap it back around. Take our ratchet back out. So you can see, belt's nicely tight. It's going around all the pulleys like it's supposed to. So I think we're good. All we got to do now, I guess, is hook up our intake and start it up. So let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so a little tip. Levi's got a butt crack. But don't shut your trunk all the way because you disconnected the battery. So in order to connect the battery, we have to get through the trunk. And these cars don't have a key to open the trunk. So we're gonna send Levi in.
No.
That's your pants. Can you go in there and pull the cord? See? Crawl in there.
No.
You don't want to get in there?
No.
I'll help you.
No.
Okay, so Levi's not doing it. So I'm going in. And it's full of stuff, so that's what we're after. See it? Alright, can we reach? We're trying. Got it. We got it.
Oh.
Did you just lock it again?
Yeah.
Oh. Alright, let's go back in. You want to try it this time?
No.
Alright. Open!
Dad, open.
There he is.
Dad, hold it.
Alright, let's cut. Let's cut. I gotta get out.
Dad!
Alright, let's get our battery connected.
What?
Alright, now let's get our 10mm wrench. Nice and tight. Okay, so we got our intake here, we got our sensor plugged in. I'm thinking maybe I just fire it up just to look around, make sure we're good. So let's do that now. All right. Remember we do our little trick here? push our two buttons. There's our information. So right now you can see battery putting out 14 volts. Let's go to the bigger one. There we have it. 13.9. And as you can hear, you don't hear that whining noise anymore. Make sure everything looks good. Levi's got Sprite. So still 13.9 volts. So there you have it. Looks good, sounds good. Nothing rattling around. Nothing getting in the way of anything. It's not whining, not grinding. One thing that you must make sure you do when taking off this radiator hose, make sure your car is nice and cool. If you take it off when it's hot, you have a risk of all this coolant spraying at you and causing some serious burns. So let your car sit, let it cool down before you mess with any of the radiator hoses. Okay. All right, before you guys say anything, I did give it a quick wipe down. Look at it, nice and shiny. All right, for you folks that might be concerned about removing the radiator hose, I've been running my car for about 15-20 minutes. We got the cap off right here. That's for your coolant. So we got it off. So this will help get the air out of the system by letting all the air circulate through there, and it's gonna bubble out through here. You'll see the bubbles, you know, going through the coolant if you look in there. I have had no bubbles because I don't think any air got into the system. And then if you look over here, we got our all the way on the heat side. Anyway, so we got it all the way up on heat, so it's circulating through the heater core. Our temperatures, you know, where we need to be. We could actually go in up here and look at an actual temperature, 195 degrees. If you can see that. So yeah, this will help get any bubbles out of the system. If you're you know, have any concerns, just take the cap off right here and just let it run, get up the temperature, you know, keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't get hot on you. But yeah, I think this way is, you know, a lot easier taking that radiator hose off than messing around and risking tearing the hose by trying to pull it out through there. So we got our cap back on. You know, double check one more time. We're at 195 degrees. You can see right here. We're maintaining. That's good. So yeah, easy. Let's go back to our voltage. Let's check that one more time before we leave. 13.9, 13.8. See if we can hit a 14. There we go. We got a 14 volt alternator, which is a lot better. Thanks guys for watching me change this alternator on a 2007 Chrysler 300C. It's got the 5.7 Hemi. The job was actually not too bad. This is the first time I've ever changed one on this car. Did it, no problem. The only issues I was having was trying to film and do it at the same time. Makes it kind of hard. So when you're doing it and you have two hands, it'll be a lot easier. So anyways, I'll put a link in the description on the tools I used. You could do this all with pretty common hand tools, nothing special. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description on the alternator. I got it at one of the auto parts stores, you know. I think it was O'Reilly. It was $100 $143.99. And it's got a $55 core charge, but I gave him my old alternator, so I didn't have to pay that $55. So yeah, even picked me up a mellow yellow while I was there. So thanks for watching the video. Hope you liked it. Remember to like, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next video.